Hi guys, Charis here, and I'm in my tree. I will show you where I'm sitting. I have decided to start climbing the tree rather than just, because usually I would sit down there in that little kind of bowl, but I decided to start climbing it, and I'm sitting on this perfect spot that is just made for sitting on. I don't know if you can kind of tell, and I'm surrounded by green everywhere. This is such a beautiful tree. I love it. And the first time I connected with the spirit that lives in this tree was really intense, because it's a really big tree, so it was a really big spirit. Kind of was daunting, but we have become friendly since. This is kind of going to be a hodgepodge video because I'm feeling a little like I have too much to say and not a good format to say it in, so I'm just going to start talking and see what comes out. The first thing is that meditating in trees is kind of amazing, because what I found is that, you know, trees are like giant antennas. I mean, they even look like that above and below ground. So when you meditate in them, if you connect your root chakra into the tree, then you're like amplified. And so you can connect much more deeply with Gaia, and also, I think, more with above too. I didn't notice that as much as connecting deeply with Gaia, but it's easier for me to connect with above than it is for me to connect with Gaia, one of my main issues and missions this lifetime. And rooms for growth is in grounding. So this is very helpful. And plus this tree is just, I mean, amazing. Like, oh, it's freaking gorgeous. Check it out. Anyway, so I meditated and I asked what to record on, and they gave me some ideas, my guides did, on, for instance, knowing when to quit and change directions and throwing the rules out. And I know that I've recorded about this before, and a lot of my kindred sisters out there who also record similar videos have recorded on this before, but it keeps coming up, so I'm going to keep talking about it. I would just like to say that times are changing, and you guys know that, but I think it's more important than ever before to not make rules that we live by. We can make guidelines, and if there's no reason to break them, then don't. But if your guidelines or your rules that you made that may have served you in the past don't match up with what you're currently feeling, experiencing, and where your heart is pulling you, then change them. Staying rigid with old rules is kind of going to really make these transitional periods much more difficult for you. And what I was actually told about this cold that now I'm healing from, and by the way, after I posted a video talking about my cold, I've gotten like miraculously better every day, and I really am pretty positive that that's because of the good intentions you guys have been sending my way. So thank you. Oh my gosh, I've never experienced like the power of prayer or intention setting coming from other people to me. I've seen it going from me to other people doing distance healing and things like that, but that was amazing, and you guys rock, and thank you so much, because I think I'd probably still be in bed if you hadn't been sending me healing intentions and blessings. So thanks so much. I really appreciate that, and you definitely made a big difference. But anyway, I was told that the reason that I was sick is because this was just a huge transitional period with the meteor shower last weekend and with the full moon, the new moon rather, yesterday morning, and all these things. And my channels were already full. And a cold is, you know, all of your receiving channels, your sinuses, your throat, your eyes. My eyes are really affected, and I always felt like I wanted to cry, you know, that feeling where your eyes and all the tissues around them are very inflamed. And I didn't cry. I mean, I didn't actually emotionally want to cry, but it just felt like if I could have gotten a good cry, then it would have really helped. Anyway, and it was because I was already totally full of things happening. I was really busy. Everything was transitioning and changing, and then this other huge information shift came in, and there just wasn't room for it. So it kind of singed me around the edges, and I think that happened to a lot of you guys, probably. Let me know if it did, because I love it when I find out that we're all reflecting each other. It's super cool, and it makes us all feel less alone, especially after a lifetime of feeling alone. I know a lot of my kindreds out there who I've connected with feel the way I do, that we were always very weird and different, and now we're all meeting each other. It's really amazing. So there's that. And so getting sick, first of all, it's overload, but it can also be other things. I know a good friend of mine, Kimberly Cochran, who is an angel therapy practitioner and deals a lot with the way belief structures shape people's realities. She and I have had many discussions about how illnesses are actually transformative, and how it happened to her. And it hasn't happened to me personally as much as dire, but I've seen it happen to other people around me, that when you get a really big life-changing illness, it's often really transformative, and when you heal out of it, you're much better off and you're much more open, and it gives you space to evolve that perhaps you were blocking out before, because the illness clears all those channels. So that's part of it, but I also think that this particular illness, it was interesting because I was trying to find my bliss while I was still sick, and there's a little bit, I think, of many of us that really love sick days, because it kind of gives us an excuse to just lounge around. And it's funny because yesterday I was actually really productive. You know, I recorded a couple of videos, I made some more moves for the retreat on Mount Shasta in October, but I also spent a lot of the day, you know, eating food and laying on the couch and watching TV with my sister, and it just felt so nurturing. So I guess the balance there is giving yourself time to do those things when you're not sick, and then you don't have to get sick in order to get it. And that's something that my guides keep telling me, is that I have to bring balance, I have to relax and receive, and not always be putting out, which is, you know, one of those things that we all have to learn, especially those of us who are light workers, who have often found our worth in helping others. And ever since I was, you know, a tiny child, I have been the comforter. Apparently before I could talk, I would find the one person who was sad at any gathering my family would go to and go and sit by them and just kind of hang out there. I'm sure a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. So yeah, just trying to find the bliss in the sickness. And also, when you're uncomfortable like that, you're forced to be very grounded in your body, because you can't ignore your body. So that's one of the things that being sick helps with. But also, if we can decide to stay grounded and experience what our bodies are experiencing when we're not sick, then we probably wouldn't have to get sick in order to experience it. So yeah, you know, just trying to keep everything on the up and up, and accept things like setbacks when they occur, and see where the blessing is, and move on, and hopefully learn from them in the future, and see what we can do about shifting our perspective and making ourselves actually grow from the experience, rather than having to repeat it again, because who wants to do that? Also, about the rule thing, it's really good to not move forward if you're not feeling really grounded and centered. And that's something that the past week or so, because so much was happening and so much was shifting in my life and environment, it was really hard for me to feel super grounded, super centered. I was happy and excited, but I was also not really balanced. I was having a lot of mental chatter come in. And one thing that I've been learning is, anytime my mind starts going really fast, even if I think I'm getting inspirations and amazing thoughts and wondering about all this stuff and getting answers, if my mind is jumping and going really fast, then I can't really trust it, because it's not coming from a place of centeredness and the true fuel that comes from the universe through you, rather than just your mind kind of working at stuff and kind of being that spinning motor, which isn't all that reliable. And it's strange, because you feel like you're getting good stuff, but if you can feel that flavor of thought and of emotion, that kind of jumping ahead, pushing out of the front of your body, I have to get this done, or I have to figure this out, then you're better off doing some type of activity that will ground you and center you, and then coming back to the topic to think about it. So anyway, does anything else want to come through right now? I don't think so. I think this is the end. And I would just like to say that it's a beautiful day today, and the weather is perfect. And often people say it's a beautiful day and then stop there and don't really rest in the beautiful day and really allow themselves to experience it fully in their bodies. That's another thing about body awareness. So fall is coming. I kind of wish at the moment that I were in a place that had fall, because I love fall, so maybe I'll do some traveling more than I expect. I don't know. I'll open it up to the universe and see what happens. But the Shasta retreat is still open for more registrants. We have about 8 spots left at this point. We're getting about a registrant a day, it seems. So if I were you and you're interested in going, then drop a note or register or whatever. I'll put the link down below. And have a great day. Go in peace. Enjoy your weekend. And I will see you again soon.